Hello, I'm Danny de Hek. How to start a profitable dropshipping business. I would like to share 10 tips on how to go about starting and running and maintaining a dropshipping business. I'm going to share my experience, knowledge, and skills with you. I've been doing dropshipping quite heavily for the last 5 or 6 years, and I've had a lot of other things I've done in the past. I started playing around on the internet in 1993, and I've actually gone through the process of actually having products in stock and handling the product and taking it to the post office and sending them out to my customers. And I'm going to give you in this video some pros and cons about how to have a successful dropshipping business. Now, you might think the concept's pretty easy to grasp, but until you've actually practically done it and implemented things or tried new things, you may be disappointed with the results you get. People often ask me, are people concerned about how long it waits to get the products? And I said, well, it's how you handle your customers' expectations. Or what about if the product isn't any good? Well, I buy all my products from China, and the products are good. In fact, I think I've got a $2,500 cell phone sitting around my office here somewhere, and that was made in China, but it's got a logo on it called Apple. You know what I'm getting at. I'm going to show you some of my shops straight away out of the gate so you get an idea of the caliber of shops that I run. I'm going to give you an idea of how much money I actually make in the way of sales on each shop. So the first one is my outdoor brand. Now, I used to run a hiking and tramping group, and I thought if I start up a shop selling outdoor gear, everyone will buy the products from me. I think I sold some walking sticks to one of the ladies that used to come along to my walking group. That's about it. But my sales come in from all over New Zealand. I only sell products to New Zealanders. Just recently, I've opened it up globally, but I'll explain that. This isn't going to be a long video, but I am actually going to tell you a lot of the trade secrets so you can see why it's not as easy as you may think to set up a website. I've had people try and copy my formulas and failed miserably. But let me show you some of the fundamentals. This shop is just a typical dropshipping website that I have. And to date, if you go to the back end of it, I've actually sold $141,000 worth of products since the beginning, which was the 2018. If I go to another one, this is an electronic shop that I have, and this sells numerous different types of electronic products like headphones, MP3 players, CD cases, cables, you name it, we've basically got it. This website has actually been going for the same period of time, and it's actually sold $303,000 worth of products since it's been going. The average order is actually $33. And if we compare that to this other one, the camping store, the average order is $63, so nearly twice as much. We do have a couple of other shops that I'm currently selling, and if you're interested, do let me know. But this is an outerwear shop. Now, I've been trying to sell this shop, and people are so sort of, they can't quite grasp the concept of how it works. So I've done a few videos, and this is one of the videos in the series, trying to teach people how this shop could also turn into a good wage earner. The other one we've got at the moment is one called Lux Nails, and this website has got about 250 products in it, and it needs about probably 500-600 products before it starts actually working. I remember when we sold our first product, my partner and I, we were like, wow, imagine if we just sold one product a day like that and made that money, we would do really well out of that business, this business. And that has grown ever since. So the first thing, I've got a list of 10 things over here. It says, find the right niche. You know, you need to find a niche. Like this one here is all about nails. This one here is all about clothing. This one here is all about electronics. And this one here is all about outdoors. But when I started the outdoor website, I actually called it campinggear.co.nz because I thought I was selling camping gear to people. but it didn't really take off. So then I rebranded the website and I called it NZ Outdoors, which basically meant I weren't limiting myself to camping equipment. And to date, we sell things like cycling, bags, clothing, sunglasses, gloves, and lights. I wouldn't have been able to put those products in the shop unless I thought this. I also sell fishing gear, which is sort of camping gear, but not really. Sportswear, leggings, pants, running, t-shirts. So now, by creating a sort of a more generic name, I can add anything outdoors. So if I wanted to add golfing gear, I could find a supplier and then start adding golfing gear. So you really do want to, have a niche. Now, I am currently selling this website at the moment because I want to take my business to a new level. I want to educate people on how to maintain. I want to educate them on how to add products, and we want to start teaching people how to run dropshipping websites. So this website currently has, I think from memory, around about over 3,000 or 800 customers. I forget sometimes. So it's got 3,000 customers. And that means that I've never done any email marketing to the customers, and I basically have never harassed the customers. So there is potential to do email marketing to the clients, but I don't do that. And there's reasons why I don't do that, good or bad. So some people who are cleverer than me think that's how you go about running a shop. You sell a product to a customer and then they're yours forever, and you continuously hound them to death until they buy another product. Well, I don't use that strategy. If you're an expert in that strategy, then it may be something that you could implement, but it's not how I roll. So people go, well, how do you market these things? Well, I'll explain that as time goes on. So the biggest thing is creating a genre of a website that you may be passionate about. But then I'm trying to sell this one here at the moment, and people going, oh, I don't really want an outerwear shop. But I have actually researched that the fact that people are buying socks, undies, tops, they are buying caps, they are buying pajamas, they are buying hoodies like I'm wearing, and there is actually quite a room to scale this business. So that's a niche in itself. And we haven't just thought of it because I'm passionate about garments. I've actually done the research. So when you're thinking about setting up a dropshipping website, you really want to think about what niche. How can you, if you were in a train, you need to stay on the rails. So don't think I can just have a general shop and chuck a whole lot of products in it and people will buy them, because it will confuse the search engines for one thing. And you've got to have a theme of your shop, but you want to find a niche where you know that the products will sell. So I could potentially be targeting a certain type of audience. I don't do this, but once again, I could go join a whole lot of outdoor tramping groups, running groups. I could look at the type of people that would buy my products and then go into Facebook and join a whole lot of groups and start chit-chatting to people and put that brand around those people if I wanted to. I'm talking obviously about the outdoor one and that one. Now, competition. I do mention competition and having a niche. I've never worried about my competition. I don't compete on price. I have my pricing worked out, and I know what price I should be selling products for. But if there's someone down the road that's selling it $5 cheaper, $30 cheaper, or $5 more, I do not compete on price. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. So I don't think price is everything. Now, reliable suppliers. As I mentioned earlier on, I do actually have suppliers that I'm just going to play around with that a wee bit more. I do actually have suppliers which are based in China. I have multiple suppliers, and I need to find the ones that have the good gear. So a good idea is what I did. See that picture in the middle? That's actually me sitting there with my backpack on. I actually went and did a trip to Vietnam, and I took that backpack with me. It had a room for a laptop, it had a room for a bladder, and it held up, the stitching didn't come apart, and it was called, from memory, Melrose bag, I think it was, and they're brilliant bags. So I bought one. I used it for a while. I liked the quality. So that was not the cheapest bag I could find with my supplier, but it was one that I felt was a good bag. So you don't always need to be the cheapest. Now, these photos that you see along the top, these are from a supplier called Nature Hike. And I used to actually own naturehike.co.nz, ironically. That's me. And if you look closely, you can see I'm actually wearing a backpack that I don't sell. But I was out tramping and my partner's a photographer and she took that photo. So I've got real, genuine photos on my website. Fishing gear, cookers. And these are all, when I start the shop, I had to experiment. I had to find what products people were going to buy off my shop. So, for example, if somebody come along and purchase maybe a running vest, then I would go back and find suppliers and I'd have a whole range of running vests. So currently, I think I have about 80 different types of running vests available for people to buy. I'm not going to have a shop with limited products because it's like it's just a good way of doing it. So I have multiple vests in here, and the person that buys it can go through and have a look and see which one's their favorite. But they're all good quality ones, and as I'm trying to say, I actually have purchased these products in the past. I've done the test. Also, I sell tents, and there's one of the tents. So if I go into my tent section of my website, you can see I have hammocks, tents, even ropes. And you might be surprised, but sometimes this rope product that you see here is something I didn't think I would sell, but I sell quite a few of them. And I don't even know what it does, but I think it's for tying a rope around a tree, some sort of harness. But sometimes you fluke it. You put a product online that's trending and it's in demand, and people find it and buy it. These waterproof awnings, I've sold quite a few of these. You know, simple products sell. The expensive products may encourage people and give them peace of mind, and they buy the cheaper product. It's just, you've got to play around. Like torches and headlamps. Now, I thought they would go really well. Well, I have sold a lot of headlamps because they are very cheap. If you go into a standard shop, you might find a headlamp for $150, and then all of a sudden you find one here for $49. It may not be as good as the expensive ones, but some people don't see the value in buying the best. They see the budget of $49 and away they go. So what I'm trying to say here, you need to find the niche, you need to find good suppliers. Now, our suppliers, I have multiple suppliers. I don't have to form a relationship with all of them. I don't have to do minimum orders. You need to find a sort of like a head office that manages all the little suppliers, and that's what we have done, and that's what works best for us. It says in here, consider local suppliers. Now, why would you not have a local supplier that you can get products and dispatch them straight away? Because if you do, that's not called drop shipping. Drop shipping is where your local supplier will actually send those goods off to your customers for you. Now, I do sell TV remotes, and I do have a few that have been returned that weren't compatible with the device, blah, blah, blah. And I could actually, when I sell one, rush down to the post office and put it in a courier bag and send it off to the customer. Or with drop shipping and software and talking to big suppliers, you can click a button and it will go away and order the product. And then when they dispatch the tracking number, it will send it back to the customer and they're gone. And I don't have to do anything. That's what drop shipping is. Drop shipping isn't about stocking products, because that's not drop shipping. And if you're thinking they're buying local products, then they won't be able to connect to the software that keeps your shop stock up to date. So you might be thinking, well, that's okay, because I'll just say I've got 50 of them in stock. And then you'll go to the supplier and they'll go, oh, I haven't got any more at the moment. And then you have to go back and email your customer and say, oh, I'm sorry, there's a delay. And they go, well, you advertise it as you've got it in stock and you haven't got it. It's just got to get messy. So you need to find suppliers that talk to the back end of your website so you don't spend all day long doing multiple emails, because it will do your head in. Requesting samples was just briefly mentioned because I said I actually purchased some products. Now, I've actually got some walking sticks and they cost $180 each. And I can buy them on my own shop for about $50. But the quality of them isn't quite as good as my $180 each hiking sticks. But I'm not selling $360 poles. So the person that would buy $360 walking sticks wouldn't actually probably feel the quality difference if they're only paying $100. So they don't need to be extreme quality. They just need to be fit for purpose in line with the New Zealand Consumer Act guarantee, or the Consumer Customer Guarantee, whatever it's called, not the Act guarantee. But you know what I mean? It just has to be, fair quality for a fair price. So that is quite important. Right, create a professional online store. Now, this store that you're looking at here is on Shopify. Shopify is a fantastic platform. It does cost you $39 US a month to have a Shopify web store, but it means you don't have to worry about finding merchants, credit card for suppliers. It's compatible with every device, Android versus Apple. It's easy to navigate and easy to manage. And once you get your head around it, you can put a theme on it that makes it look really nice. And what I really like about it is if you're green and you don't know how to write up all your terms and conditions and your refund policies, they do give you quite a few samples. So there's a refund policy. You won't be able to see that. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you. So that's a typical refund policy. That's actually a bit of a lie because I actually wrote that one. But let's go to terms and conditions. So here's the terms and conditions, and you might think you have to hire a lawyer and you have to go through all this sort of stuff, but you don't. You just basically, they have the standard terms and conditions and you update them all. Now, when we set up a shop for a client, we actually set up all the terms and conditions, the privacy stuff, and another one that we've been doing, which is really important, is support. Support has basically got every answer, every question that a customer may be looking for, because you need to have peace of mind. So that's all part of setting up a website properly. Are you a New Zealand business is the biggest question we get, because some people think, I want to buy from a New Zealand business. I say, yes, we are a New Zealand business. People ring me up sometimes and they want to come around and pick up the products or have a look at our shop. And I'd never deny the fact that we're an online shop only. We don't actually have any products in store. They come directly from our suppliers, as I say. They want to know how long the goods are going to take. People's expectations these days aren't to get a product overnight. They actually don't mind waiting for a product, because if your pricing's right, they will wait. If your pricing is matching your competitors, they will expect to have it overnight. And also, if you supply products that you don't see in local shops, then it's a win-win. They will be prepared to wait. I've bought a lot of stuff off Amazon, and Amazon, I know I have to wait. A lot of people buying off any shops these days know they have to wait. Do you have a physical store? We don't have any physical stores, nor do we hold stock. Now, if a client buys off me and said, I thought you had, I can say, well, actually on our website, on our support area, we answer all those questions. And then, so that's all part of having a good shop. And also some clever things that Shopify enable you to do, even if you use a crappy theme. If I was to look at a product, you'll see the navigation bar. Let's have a look. The navigation bar comes up on the left. If I go into a category like biking accessories, you can see that you have these really lovely drop-down categories which help you find products. And it works out really, really well. So cookers and heaters, you go in here and they're just really clean. Having good images, for example. So if I was to pick a product at the moment, and let's say it's a drop shipping shop as it is, and let's say I go in here and I want to, I'll see if I can find something that needs editing. Let's have a look. So if you have clean images, they will go better when they get listed in Google. So I'm just having a look quickly, see if I can find it. Oh, here's one that looks like it's got. So with Shopify, for example, let's say this product here that you're looking at is not on a white background, but I can actually, now they've got software in here that will screen the picture, and it will allow you to, after it's done that, I don't even know it's going to do it. I'm going to try that. And see, I can basically make the background color any color I like. However, it didn't quite work on that image. Not a very good thing. But rather than having, and also other things you can do, you can crop the picture and make it a bit, you can play around with it. So you've got a lot of power when you're using Shopify rather than using WordPress and WooCommerce, which I do also use, but not for drop shipping. So it's pretty cool, really. So that's really important. So that was number 3, professional online store. Optimize it for mobile. Yes, it has to be mobile friendly. Now, I'm not sure if you'll see this because of the way I'm sharing the screen, but now my store is like a mobile phone. The navigation turns into something different, and it's easy to navigate. The search bar is right there. The checkout process that says the checkout's empty. So if I come along here and I decide that I'm going to have a look at this mattress and I buy it, I go down the bottom here. Let's see, where does it go to? Add to cart. And you'll see that it go to the checkout. And look, I can, on a mobile phone, I can literally click Express Checkout, where I could literally go Shop Pay, Google Pay, and it will fill out my address. There's my credit card number. It's very, very, very slick. So, you might think, oh, I don't want to pay the $59 a month, well, whatever it is, $39 a month, because it's expensive. But when you're starting a drop shipping business, you basically got to think, well, my first goal isn't to be rich. My first goal isn't to sell thousands of dollars worth of products a month. My first goal is to make my overheads go away. So if this is $59 a month, which it is because I use a plugin and I buy the shop, that's my only expenses. So my goal should be to sell $120 worth of products a month to cover my expenses, because you're going to make money. Also, the plugin that I use that is really important actually interfaces really well with Shopify, and it enables me to have the right pricing, which I think I will cover later on. If not, I'll do a summary at the end. So it's got to be optimized for mobile. I think it's something like 63% use mobile phones to order the products. Focus on user experience. Well, you don't need to worry about learning how to do that and reading and watching a whole lot of YouTube videos, because Shopify have a lot of that. Now, I have a friend of mine who spends a lot of money on his themes. He sells fitness gear. He's bounced around on different, I'll show you his shop. He's used many different shopping carts in his time. His shop will sell over $1.5 million worth of products a year. He sells Garmin products. He sells, fitness stuff, Chorus watches. The navigation is pretty like quad lock. And the theme that he's using is a clever one. But at the end of the day, he focuses on making sure that people can use Afterpay, and you can do all that with Shopify. It has good descriptions, good information, and it works. It can even embed videos, and people who bought this also like. It's got blogs. It's got the whole 9 yards. So this isn't a drop shipping business. This is a bricks and mortar shop. But the point is that Shopify is what he's finished up with. He used to use BigCommerce. He used to use WordPress, and now he's gone to Shopify, which is actually fantastic. And he got a quote from a company to build his website, and it was excess of $50,000 New Zealand to get this website built. We've been working together for years. He builds his own website. So I just wanted to show you the difference between a real store and a drop shipping store. I have no products. So, and his focus, which I was getting to, is all about user experience. What enables somebody to get to the checkout and click that button, buy? And that's what you should think about. All right, so implementing marketing strategies. Now, I'm not going to tell you where I advertise, because I've got some secrets I want to keep to myself. However, I do pay for some advertising. Every shop that I have is actually, I pay up to $5 or $6 a day. And I do that because I just want to get in bed with the search engines. So I know that by advertising in a certain place, it helps my website get indexed, and they turn up in search engines all over the world, which is fantastic. So the other things that you could do that I don't do, you could, like, I've got a Facebook page with one of my shops that's got nearly 20,000 users on it. I post new products on there. That's fine. I do get some sales, but the good thing here, if you go into your reports, and you can actually see where all your sales come from. And I think there is actually an area which I can't find in a hurry, but it will actually tell you, what places, how your advertising works, which is really good. I can't find it in a hurry, and I'll forget it. But there is a place there where you can actually break down where your sales come from. And I get most of my sales from organic traffic. So that's really important to me, that people understand. What are we doing here? We're going to. So organic means that if you come along and you look at a product like that product I'm just looking at, and you go into the search engines and you search for the product, you will find that that product comes up with the wee picture and the description, and it just comes up naturally on the internet. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about the advertising that you see at the top doing all that sort of stuff. I just let it do its thing. And funny enough, you'll probably find that my supplier would probably be in here somewhere, and I will be above them, and I'll be more expensive, and people will still purchase. But you want to focus on optimization. So I'm going to give you a little example of that and some things that you can do to your shop. So let's go into my categories. Now I have about 80, probably, I'm just guessing, maybe 80 different categories. And you click on accessories, and you can see that there's a whole lot of accessories in there. Now just yesterday I did a video, and I thought before I do the video about this store, I better go and optimize it. So this one here sells beanies. So I've got a picture, I've got a title, and I've also got a description about beanies in general. And also I've got other like-minded associated words to do with outdoor wear, all on the same page. And this will marinate in the search engines, but this category that you're looking at here on beanies, on caps, on dressing gowns, there's no dressing gowns in that one, it's a brand new store, and I've got one product, then you want this coming up in the search engines. And by optimizing your products and the categories they sit in, and the entire web page is going to really make a huge difference, and it's really important to get that right. So if you notice, if I wanted to write a description about this product, I use AI to help me write good descriptions. The good description, even though you might think minimalistic is important, having good descriptions in the products and good names, these products will come up in the search engine free of charge. So you can either pay for a little bit of traffic, optimize your products that you put in, which is really important, but you don't want to spend all day doing, adding products. So you want to get pretty slick at how to have a happy medium. I always say be good today rather than perfect tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. So you will have to weigh up between optimizing your products, social media marketing. If you start spending money on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, you may be bitterly disappointed that you'll be spending more money than you will have no money left to make a profit. Now, I'm not sure my notes if I mentioned anything about profit, but I will do I'll tell you how to work out your pricing, because that's just, the pricing is everything. It's really important. Provide exceptional customer service. Now, I don't really do that, but I'm very good on the phone now. So if you rang me up and asked me about a product, and people ring up and they go, oh, I see that you're in Christchurch, New Zealand, and I'm driving around looking for your store. Can I come and pick up the products? I'll say, oh, look, no, you can go to China and pick them up if you like. But I say to people, no, look, we don't have any products in store. But they still don't listen to what I say. They go, oh, but I just wondered if you might have one. And I go, no, I don't have any products. I don't have anything at all. We drop ship our products to our customers. So I always be transparent. Often I'm a bit of a gabbler on the phone, and I build a relationship with the person on the phone. Then I say, well, what product were you actually after? And then they might say, I'm after some of these boots. And I go, oh, I've just added those. I actually really think they're pretty cool. Or I'll find some genuine way to have a conversation with a client. So let's say if I was using these fluoro things for running at nighttime, I go, I'll say to people, are you a runner? Hey, just while I'm on that product, notice that product sold out. That's because my supplier has run out. When my supplier gets them in again, these will light up. And that's why the benefit. And that does happen. So I might spend I normally spend about 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes adding a new product on board. And I know this supplier had quite a few of them, but unfortunately they've now ran out of stock. And when they either stop selling that item, or my system will turn it off so I don't embarrassingly sell the product. But now I need to go do some maintenance. And sometimes you need to do some maintenance that takes a bit of time. So my job now would be to find another supplier and then add this product back, because this whole website is based on, a good even amount of products, all to do with outdoors. So how do you return a product? When a customer buys a product and they've made their mistake and they want to exchange the product, do you have to do that? No, there's no law in New Zealand anyway where you have to exchange a product. However, you have to actually have a refund policy. Now, if the product is not up to consumer standards, yes, we would have to refund it. But if the customer simply change their mind, this is what we tell people. So when you're at the checkout, take a second to run your eye over your order for any slips of the finger before submitting, because once you've submitted it, it is too late. And sometimes we had a lady buy some hiking clampons the other day, and she ordered them and then realized that she couldn't select what size. For some reason, we had a problem with our shop, probably because the supplier took the size out. So she did the order anyway and then emailed me saying, oh, I couldn't select the size I wanted because we didn't have them. And then she said, can I please get large ones? Now, she probably bought the price for medium ones, and now with the larger ones cost more and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, she shouldn't have processed that order. But I did fulfill the order and it was all good. But at the end of the day, the customer has to be responsible for their own actions to a certain degree. We don't have to return a product because they've changed their mind. So you need to be familiar with your own terms and conditions. So we handle and train people who run these shops on how to handle the customer's expectation, how to keep the customer happy, because the last thing you really want is the customer writing bad reviews about you and your service. But you need to be polite. So often I get people saying to me, I thought that you were a New Zealand shop and we were going to get the product overnight. And then I say, look, did you know how much did you pay for the product? And they say, oh, $23.95. I said, oh, you saw the price. So just above the price, it says once your order has been placed, it can take 3 to 7 days before you receive the international tracking. Delivery can take 15 to 35 days. Oh, I didn't read that. And I said, oh, that's okay. And I said, but actually, products are coming through in 10 to 12 days at the moment. And I said, I'm hoping that will happen with yours. And by that time, the customer is actually relatively quite happy. And now they say to us, oh, what happens if it doesn't fit? And well, hey, if it doesn't fit, then I haven't done my job right in adding the products in. And I really need to actually make sure that we explain the sizing of the product. So in most of my shops where I have garments, I have a size graph so people can actually figure that out. Because I don't want a small vest sitting in my wardrobe waiting for somebody to reorder enough, because I don't sell enough of them to merit stocking them, remember? Anyway, that's cool. And sending it back to China is not an option. But, this running vest that you see here, these running vests in New Zealand can be up to $250. This one here is $131. So I'll come up and say to the person that might have ordered the wrong size, not saying they do, but I'm just hypothetically saying, and I will suggest that they sell that product on TradeMe, which is our eBay, and get their money back, and then go order the one they really want. And they might be a bit grumpy about that, but at the end of the day, I am running a drop shipping business. I don't want to have stock. So engaging with customers, you have to have your phone numbers on the top of the website. You have to have an email. You're going to engage. People don't ring me very often. They email me most of the time. So, but you need to have contact details, because I wouldn't buy from a website that didn't have contact details on there. Monitor and optimize your business. Find what sells. Something about B2B testing. I'm not really into that sort of stuff. Automate as where possible. These are the sort of like optimizing your shop. Now, if I'll give you an example. I don't know if I've still got the product. There it is there. Now, these arch back massage stretch things, I saw these advertised on Facebook all over the internet. These literally can cost from $3 to $7 each, and we can sell them for $58. Now, I were actually selling them for about $30, and I was selling quite a few of them. Then the supplier that was selling them for, I think they were for probably $7 or $8 a pop, decided not to sell them anymore at that price. And now the price of this item is $58. I haven't sold any for a long time. So what I should do is do a search through my suppliers and see which one is still selling these, and I should delete that product and re-add it as a brand new product. That will give the search engines a fresh product to index. But however, the trend may be over, and it may be a product that doesn't sell anymore because it was a bit of a long shot. Now, the other day I decided that I would add some new products into here, and this is what you do. So this is all about monitoring. I'm trying to find the product that I want, but I'll just have a look and see if I can find it. Shop now. So this is quite cool. So I have a category called bestsellers, and if I go to here, I can go new to old. And you can see the other day, a friend of mine actually bought one of these MP3 players because he goes out running. It was actually the guy that owned the shop. So because he bought one, I thought, oh, he just bought that. He bought it directly from my supplier. So I added that product into my shop. Then the other day I sold a couple of these MP3 players. Actually, I lie, I didn't. Somebody inquired about one of these MP3 players. I've got the same product coming from two different suppliers, and there's $1 difference. But I added both, and I've got better descriptions for that product now. So I removed the old product. The customer was asking questions. I updated the product. I wrote back to the customer and said, look, the description was out of date. I've refreshed the description from the supplier, and here it is. And that gives me an opportunity to build a relationship with the customer. Now, another funny one are these lights. I saw on Facebook, you might have seen them yourself, there's a lot of adverts out there at the moment, and there's a lot of people doing what they call sales funnels. And a lot of people go, oh, sales funnels works really well. Now, their people might have bought, I'm guessing, 1,000 of these, and they've got them in their garage, and they're ready to sell them out. And they'll do a whole lot of adverts on these products. And scrolling advertisements, LED sign, and they plug into cigarette lighters. They look like a lot of fun, but I saw the advert. So what did I do? I went to my supplier, I searched for the product, I found the product, and I added it into my shop. So that's what I call monitoring. And also, if you sell a product twice within maybe, 3 weeks, then look at the product they bought and think about what other like-minded products will the person that bought this product also want. Is there different variations? Is there different colors? Is there different sizes? Is there different brands? Who's their competition? And then find it, then add it. Now, I have no idea whether this product is actually coming up in the search engines, but it's $106. So I click a button, and you will see, I'll see, I'm just looking to see if I've got any adverts in here. And I'm not coming up in any of the paid advertising at the start. And here I am. No, I'm not. I am actually coming up. Now, this is really interesting. I'll just show you a wee tip. So here comes my shop, and I search for something completely different to this, to what I'm trying to find. But another one of my products come up in the search results. And this is what I'm telling people, that if you want a good drop shipping website, you really need to have excess of 800 products in here, because Google will index through my site and it knows what's my site inside out. So this would have actually, I don't even know if that's, it might actually be, these are Amazon. Oh, there I am. Look at that. So there's my images coming up, and it's 3 days ago. So isn't that cool? But, people think, well, images, do people shop through images? Yes, they do. But anyway, I'm just going to go back to that advertising there. And it is the one. Oh, there we go. So that was added 3 days ago, and it's already in the search engines. Well optimized. So, yes, watch the products you sell. And when you start selling them, don't be afraid to add more like-minded products. Make your website as animated as possible. Now we're up to number 7. Stay updated with industry trends. Yeah, and this is actually really important. So, for example, ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT has changed my life. And then I could say, what electronic products are trending at the moment? So I'd literally go to ChatGPT and I ask it the questions of what um, products, electronic products, are trending at the moment. Wireless earbuds and headphones, gaming accessories, uh, e-link technology laptops, e-bikes. I'm not going to sell them, but ironically, I did actually used to try selling the engines that e-bikes were, the conversion kits, and I actually did sell a couple. Now I didn't think I'd sell it, but I did sell those on my outdoor store because I used to try selling bikes and bikes frames. Would you believe? But it didn't work, so I took them off. You know, they weren't trending. They were wasting time with the small amount of advertising I spend every day was being used to advertise products that were too high in value. So because they're high in value, Google will promote them more. You know, so don't have products that are, you know, you got to find the sweet spot of prices. So use ChatGPT and get glean ideas. Watch Facebook, go to watch webinars, and maybe even go to a few trade shows. Now, one of the shops that I do have is I sell I sell quite a few remotes. So I went to China and I walked around their little wee stores and I looked at all the wee cubicles that the people were selling their products out of. And I actually found products that they were selling in the streets. And I went back home and then I added those products into my shop. Some of the things that I haven't got any on my desk, I'm pretty unprepared, was a memory stick converter. Now, you can plug it into the bottom of your phone, and then you can get a memory stick and plug that into the device, and then your phone will bring up what's on the memory stick. The wee memory stick holders are absolutely awesome. I'm actually wondering if I actually have one of those uh, available there. What were they called? And I was selling quite a few of them, but what are they called? They're adapters. So, online adapters. So, having a good category structure is something else which I don't think I've got on my list of notes, but this is how you find things. So, I don't have too big a category structure, but then again, I probably do. But you want to come down here and you go smart accessories, smart watches, smart wristbands, smart accessories, smart remote controls. I sell a lot of not TV, garage door openers. I sell heaps of them, and you don't know what you're going to sell until you start selling them. But you need to find trending products regardless, and you need to have a store that overwhelms people with products when they get there. I'm just trying to figure out. I didn't find what I wanted to, but I was just going to see these little wee adapters. I think I've stuffed up here, but we'll have a wee quick look. I've forgotten what they're under. They were called adapter. There we go. So I've got adapters. Yeah, that's them there. So this is a good example of a product. See, now I haven't sold those for a while, and I've just realised they're sold out. But I've got one of these. You plug it into the bottom of your cell phone, and you plug your memory chip that's in your phone, in your camera, in there, and it plugs into Type C, and then I forgot what the other one's called, but they are absolutely brilliant. So I need to give my website some love. And that's part of the reason why we're taking our business to a new level, because you do need, it is a side hustle, but this electronic shop, we sell probably around about $25,000 to $30,000 worth of products a year. But to date, we've actually sold over $300,000 worth of products. So it could be a bit more than that, but I haven't had time to refresh some of the products, and that's what you've got to do. So you can build your side hustle into a business, but it really comes down to just keep on adding products. So that's pretty cool. All right, focus on branding. Build yourself a brand identity. Now, this list was given to me by ChatGPT. You can see that my brand isn't really that great. It doesn't really say much. It's NZ Electronics, distributors of technology products. Simple as. And if you went to NZ Outdoors, which we should be here, you can see that this is pretty much the same looking logo, and it's NZ Outdoors, Adventure the Wilderness with Us. That's my logo. That's it. I haven't really done much when it comes to branding. However, I do have a domain name which matches my name, NZ Outdoors. And it's actually quite good to have a sort of name that appeals to your client base. Now, I know that most people buy from me because, as I said earlier on at the very start of this video, I actually only sell products to New Zealanders. I've got a niche. I sell electronics that you can't get in the local shops that come directly from China to local people in New Zealand. Now, we have about just over 5 million people who live in New Zealand, and that's how I do. Now, just recently, somebody asked me, can I buy a product? And they were in Finland. And I said, yeah, okay. So I made it so that when people buy, they can actually put in any delivery address that they want. Now, what I did find is people were buying locally and wanted to send a person a gift who lived overseas. So rather than going to an overseas website, they now can shop on my website and have the product delivered to any place in the world. So that was by listening to my customers' feedback. Now, you might think customers talk all the time, but they don't. They complain when they have a problem. But when you get feedback from a customer who wants to do something, think about, wonder if I can implement that. And the biggest trick here with drop shipping is, which is actually covered at the end. So I'll just carry on for now. So it says create a professional logo and design. Well, I have to say, I think my logo is pretty special. But my branding is the images as well, having good images. Now, I've got a meeting with a guy tomorrow at 11 o'clock. He's got bricks and mortar. He sells millions of dollars worth of footwear a year. But his website looks absolutely shocking. And I'm going to suggest that he updates his website to look like he's not a drop shipping website. So we'll have photos of a staff helping people try their shoes on. We will make sure people can see his premises. We'll make sure people can see he has a physical store. We'll have phone numbers where people can contact. We've even got a wee chat box that's down the bottom of the website here. And I was going to talk about that earlier on. People can actually chit-chat with me. But I'm going to hopefully look after his shop. And I'm going to make it that the chit-chat box comes to me, and it will annoy me during the night. But somebody will, at 10 o'clock at night, will often ring me up and go, oh, hope you don't mind me ringing you at 10 o'clock at night. But if you have a wee chat box and they start chatting to you, you can dribble a conversation, build that relationship with the customer, and then say, hey, look, we're actually currently shut. We'll be open at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Whereabouts are you based? And they'll go, oh, Dunedin. And they go, we should come into our store and have a look. Have you currently got what shoes are you wearing at the moment? And I could give them some advice, build a relationship up with them to a certain degree, just because I have a website which doesn't enslave me to, giving customer service. And I might only really get a couple of chit chats a day, which I can, answer. And, so what I'm getting at is really your brand is customer service. Your brand is your website and building that relationship with the customer where they believe they're talking to a real company. Now, if somebody wants to chat to somebody who's just the webmaster, and then that gives them peace of mind that they were talking to somebody who's in the organization, then that will clinch the deal when they get to the checkout. They will have peace of mind that it's a real shop, real people, and they're getting real service and quality products. And I think that's really important. And do a search around the internet. That's really important. Have a look at your competitors. Like if I went here and went outdoors products. I don't even know if I should do this, but let's go products, and then I'm just going to go Christchurch because I know there's another store in my hometown, and there's a couple of camping stores. So let's just open up 2, 3, further faster, and outdoor shop NZ. Now here's a really funny thing here. I just looked at this one here. Now, this is the Complete Outdoors. They've got a bricks and mortar shop. They actually sell quite a lot of gear that I do, and I've noticed that they've been buying products from the same supplier. I don't know if you noticed that, but I got to the bottom of that website, and it didn't really have many products on it. They probably think people don't scroll, but I would actually have, like, if you were comparing apples with apples. Oh, that's not the right one. Where's that go? Oh, there it is. No, it's not. I think I need to go back. Oh, there it is. But you notice at my homepage, once it loads, you can scroll, and it would be, yes, it would be faster loading and better for CEO if I didn't have all this here. But I think a lot of people actually like scrolling. They like seeing different things pop up, and they get a good feel for the website. I think a lot of people don't know how to use the navigation system. When you look at websites, you'll actually find, if you watch the traffic, a lot of people won't click on more than 3 links deep. So you don't really, if you can get a product in front of a customer and they have to do maybe 3 clicks at the most, customers don't do this. They don't go to the navigation. They don't go to hiking. They don't go to cookware. They get bored too quickly. But they might go up to the top of your website and search cookware, and you see we've got these, and then they don't know they can click at the end and then get them all coming up like this. But here's a whole lot of cookware products, and it's pretty cool, So, so what am I getting at here? So we're looking at some opposition. So if I was looking at my local opposition, I'd look at their category structure, and this might be good, but it's sort of, I've seen this theme before. Nothing really wrong with this website, but this shop here, if I was shopping and I weren't familiar with the shop, I might think this is just a drop shipping website. But these people have got a shop, and you can drive in there and see them. And there's nothing in here of pictures of their staff serving people, anything like that. So this is better. So here you can see that they've got a real shop, real premises. And that's brilliant. And that was, I don't even think their homepage. Is that? Oh, there. So now we've got, people. This is what I call serious tramping. You've got a lady climbing, which looks like, this is really good. And these shoes for climbers, tramping shoes, easy navigation. So these are big brands in New Zealand. This is exactly what I would like to have. And this website is beautiful. So look at that. Try to make yourself look like that. But you don't have to be that good to be a drop shipping website. I mean, you think about it. I've just got a basic Shopify website. I've got software plugged in where I just add products and I'm good to go. I've got a few pictures. I'm fortunate my partner's a professional photographer. This one isn't one of her photos, but I have actually managed to get a photo I like, made it my homepage. I've got a few photos of me out in the jungle, so to speak, and it's pretty cool. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be reasonably professional. But this Bivouac Outdoors, that's a very, very good site. Okay, this person wants to grab everyone's email address and their name so they can put them in their mailing list. I personally don't like that sort of stuff, and it annoys me. However, the shop, I know the people really well who own this. Well, not really well, but they're local, and I've been in there and I bought their products. I know that they're brilliant. It's probably, to be all honest, it's probably one of my favorite shops if I'm going to buy some good stuff. And that's their shop. So who are we? If you click on About Us, hopefully you'll see a guy that got me into tramping. That girl on the left, I think it's his daughter. But, I bumped in there and I started telling her about some of my hiking trips I've been on with. And she said, oh, you're Danny. I know you. My father used to take you tramping. And I was like, oh, my God, it was really cool. So, so it might be Jules, actually. I don't know. But anyway, it's really cool. So these shops are great. Now, I'm not going to be competing with these guys because their products and their prices are a lot dearer than me. Outdoor, now this is called Outdoor Shopping Z. And they sell GPSs, which is quite interesting. Garmin ones. But you get the idea. So if you were going to compete with other shops in their niche, then have a look around that niche and glean ideas and try to make yourself, similar. But you don't have to be the same, and you don't have to be exactly the same, because here's a $300,000 worth of, we've sold $300,000 worth of products, and we've sold $141,000 worth of products. When I started NZ Outdoors the first year, I think we did $7,000 worth of sales. And then I rebranded it, looked at the products we were selling. I optimized it. I found better products. I homed in on what people's expectations were for an outdoor shop. And then I now specialize in, I've sold a lot of backpacks. I've sold a lot of biking stuff. I've sold a lot of biking glasses. I experimented by putting running vests in there. I think I've sold 3 or 4 of them. It wasn't really worth the time. Hiking sticks I sell a lot of. Simple things like little wee cages that you click on the back of your pack to put your water bottle in. I've sold quite a few of them. They're not cheap, but they sell. So you'll find products that sell, but you need to play around. Do not think. Use products that are trending. Your supplier will give you an indication of how many products. Scale your business. Now, I sell people. I've got these businesses here, you see, and I'm trying to say to people, look, you need to. I will teach you. I will give you a video like this. You'll be watching it. I will give you some tips. Now, at the moment here, the first thing people will say, how come people aren't buying the products? And I go, well, I've only got 100. Oh, but people will buy them. It doesn't make any difference how many you have. Well, it does. I know how many products are needed before the organic part of this website lights up. And also, you might add another 500-600 products in here, and the site will be going. But then all of a sudden, you start selling, a few of your products 90% of the time. And then I'll say, right, this is what people accept. This might become a glorified sock shop. It might become a glorified undie shop. This is what I call a fishing exercise. Now, these T-shirts, you'll see if you look at my photo behind me here. Whoop, there. I'm wearing that T-shirt. I love those T-shirts. I've literally got 6 of them, all different colors. They're great. So I bought those in for me to wear, and now I love them. They cost me about $16, and I sell them for $33, and they come in, different colors. So I call it no single streetwear. So I've got that's one product on that shop, but you'll see I actually have got 2 suppliers that are selling them, and I've got one that's more expensive on the same shop because this one comes from a different supplier, but they had a point of difference. So I bought myself a blue one, a black one, and a navy one, and my favorite, the red one. So these are absolutely, do that again. So I've got 2 suppliers of these T-shirts, and they have blue, black, navy, and they are $44 each. But when you come back to here, there's one here that's $32. So they're 2 different suppliers. And you can see right there, actually it's quite a good example, is they have a graph. And so people can work out, especially guys, exactly what size is good for them. So if somebody buys one of these T-shirts and they try it on and then they go, oh, it's the wrong size, I'm going to ring them up and tell them that I want them to exchange it. I'm going to say, well, actually the product comes directly from China. I said, I don't want another T-shirt. What size is it? But what I'm saying is they need to realize their size. And if you don't have a graph there, it's going to be very hard convincing the customer that they have to keep that shirt and you didn't have the size graph. If they receive the shirt and it's too tight and it says it's the medium and they tell me that their size, the size of their chest measurement is wrong, then I would have a dispute and I'd go back to my head supplier who manages all the little suppliers and put a dispute in, and they would work it all out. So what I'm getting at is you got to protect yourself, and also being part of a drop shipping business. Let's say if I sell $5,000 worth of products let's say a month, and let's say I sell maybe 150 items a month, and then all of a sudden I get 2 people returning the products because for whatever reason, then I've got to actually be able to build that into the cost of my overall business. So let's say I actually literally did actually happen. I sold a picnic set, one of those wee baskets with knife and forks and plates, and I sold that to these people. And when they received it, they said to me that they didn't think it was good value for money for how much they paid for it. And I looked at it and they paid $100. It actually cost me $50 for the item. And I said, look, sorry about that. I'm happy to give you a discount. I can refund some money. What is it worth to you? And I was going to give it 50% off. And they said, well, $80 would be a fair price for what we received. And I said, well, that's great. I'll refund you $20. Oh, thank you very much. They were really delighted. And that was how I handled the customer's expectations. The product, then I removed that from my shop, and I didn't want to go through that again. Or I could have gone back to the supplier with photos, maybe a wee video, and said, look, the quality of this isn't very good. I bought some bags in, and the seams were literally, the people used them once and the seams were ripping. So then it was out of the time period to complain, and the customers that had them for about 2 or 3 months, they weren't happy. I just refunded them, and I lost $120. So if I do sell $5,000 worth of products in a month and I have to refund people for whatever reason, then you build that into your profit that you are charging for the goods. So your overall monthly turnover is, I made $2,000 and I had to spend $3,000 buying products. Actually, the other way around. Normally, if I sold $5,000, normally I make sure I get at least double that in profit, if that makes sense. So my expenditure for buying products is normally about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of profit. I'm not explaining that right, am I? Okay, if I sold $5,000, that means I had to purchase the products. The product cost is normally $2,000. That's better. The other money is for advertising and running the shop, and that's the only three costs that you have when running a drop shipping business, which is really cool. So yeah, be prepared to scale your business, expand your product range. What else? Outsource tasks. Well, I don't have much tasks. When you've set up these shops, you don't actually have ongoing tasks. But I mean, okay, so maybe adding the products. Now, I actually like adding the products. I'm a pretty busy fella, but I actually like adding the products. And I like making sure the products have good descriptions. And I want to make sure I'm familiar with the products I'm selling, because I have to handle the telephone. Now, if I outsource adding products, I'm probably going to get somebody who add 20 products in an hour rather than 20 products in 5 hours. And also the descriptions may not be what I prefer. So I like adding my own products. But yes, you could outsource some aspects of it. But when the orders come in, they are processed automatically. You check the address that the person typed in. I have overseen that. Make sure they haven't used all lowercase. Make sure that they've got their street correct. And then if not, I find their real address and I tidy it all up. But I often don't spend more than maybe 15 seconds at the very most checking somebody's address. That and the rest of it is all automated. So maybe you could call that outsourcing. Right, prepare for challenges, manage cash flow carefully, handle returns and refunds. Well, I've actually already discussed that. So that's the last point, is prepare for challenges. So I'm going to just give you a brief summary of a few things that I can think of on the top of my head while I'm talking. But cash flow is quite an important thing. Now, we purchase the products from one master supplier, but we deal with multiple little suppliers, and we have one person that handles all the money. And this is how I roll. Now, I've got my preferred drop shipping agent, and there's my software that I use to integrate it all together. I can actually use multiple drop shipping agents, but I don't, because I have figured a way of finding good suppliers. Now, having your pricing correct is very important. First of all, how does the process work for drop shipping? Well, let's say you purchase some goods from me. Let's say those goods cost $100. When you purchase those goods for $100, then I go and check that I can still get the product with my supplier. And I could click order, and it just goes away and orders the product. Before I click order, it tells me how much that's going to cost me. If you bought a product for $100, my buy costs should be around about $40 to $45. And there should be $55 worth of money in there for me to make a profit on. And that's literally how I work. But if I'm selling a little wee item, like a little wee cable like this, for example, this might only cost me $2 or $3. If I just sell that for $7, that's not enough for me, and it's not enough for my time and energy. So anything that costs me $1, $2, or $3, I actually, for an item that costs me $1, I put 600% markup on it. If it costs me $2, I put 500% markup on it. And if it costs $4, then I'll put 400. And then it goes down until I get to around about the $10, the $20, and the $50 item. If I'm selling tents and a tent costs me $200, I normally will put 80% markup on it, because it's a fair and reasonable. Now, I try to stay away from products that cost me a lot of money, because it's a lot of risk if it goes pear-shaped. So you've got to find products that sort of sell around the $50 to $60 market value for the customer. I'm just going to get something off the floor. Drop that. So having the pricing right. Now, what we did look at earlier on is I showed you that my outdoor shop average price was $63. Now, if somebody buys a tent for $300, it's going to bring my average up. But my electronics store that has sold over $300,000 worth of products, average price is about $33, I think it was. So if it goes pear-shaped, I don't know about you, but if I go and buy a product and I pay $30 or $40 for it, and when it turns up, it's maybe not exactly what I was hoping for, but I'm not going to spend my time harassing the shop person. I probably wouldn't buy from them again, or I wouldn't worry about it. And it's harder to dispute those prices. Now, that might sound kind of terrible, but the reality is you are doing drop shipping. Products are coming directly from China, and a lot of the people don't complain, and that's kind of your clientele. Now, I'm always trying to find quality products. I think it's really important. As I said, I've bought in the t-shirts and I'm wearing one right now. I've slept in the tents that I do. The stitching's been good. I've had the tent for now maybe 4 or 5 years even, and I use it to go camping. It's a 2.2 kg tent that I use, and my tent that I've had for 30 years is a Madpack Dragonfly tent, which is the best, and that cost me $1,800 at the time, and I've had it for over 30 years, but it weighs 3.9 kgs, and when you've got a backpack and you're climbing up a mountain, that's a lot of tent. So when I go camping or trekking, I take my lightweight tent, which is 2.2 kgs, and it cost me, I think, $280. It's a brilliant tent. But my point is, it's probably not as durable as my big tent, but it gives me an alternative one. So it's a fair price that I'm paying for the tent. It's not I didn't pay $1,200 for a super lightweight tent. I just paid $300, let's say, if you get what I'm saying. So finding products that sell around about that $50 mark is going to protect you, rather than trying to find what people do, big ticket items. So it is about getting it right. So I've shown you NZ Outdoors. I've shown you my electronics shop. I've shown you 2 shops, one nails. I don't know if I have actually shown you the nail one extensively, but this is a great opportunity for someone. And if you have a look into the description of this video, I will actually have the link to my Trade Me website, and you can actually see these websites for sale. This one here is a great opportunity. Now, we are still trying to find the niche. We feel this would be the ideal side hustle for maybe an 18-year-old or somebody who's 25, around there, and they may actually think this website is everything. I actually don't know. I know these are trending products. I don't actually know how well this website will go, but you need to start playing around. And also, I don't know if I've limited myself a little bit by Lux Nails, but when I researched this, I found that there was tons of products and they had sold thousands of times. So that tells me that these products will sell, but I need to religiously keep adding products, build up the store, beef it out a little bit, so to speak, fatten it up, and then this will get picked up by the search engines and away it goes. We also added blogs into this one, and we had them written with AI. It will help the website be keyword savvy, as I say. So this is a great opportunity. So this website is currently for sale, looking for a home, someone to love it. It's structured, it's keyworded, it's SEO friendly, and she's ready to rock and roll. The one that you've been looking at a wee bit today is the outerwear. If you go through my YouTube channel, you'll see I did a video just last night trying to actually encourage somebody to take this one over. Maybe you've watched that video and you're watching this one as well. Do reach out to me. And then obviously I've shown you the potential, the scalability of drop shipping, how it can work out. Imagine working a regular job, having a side hustle where you spend half an hour a day if you want to, processing and adding new products. And then you've got yourself a supplementary income coming in. And some of the products we sell, like these sleeping bags, these are beautiful sleeping bags at a fair price, $440. If we got these little ones, these are designed for kids. Like these sleeping bags are designed for kids. You can't find kids' sleeping bags in New Zealand stores very easily. However, online here, you can see there's a lot of available kids for sleeping bags available, and $192. It's a great price for a kid's sleeping bag. And they are feather and down sleeping bags, which are pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know if I can help you anymore, but I think if I was going to give advice to anybody, crack into it. Start. I mean, the original topic is how do I start a profitable drop shipping business? Well, it took me 6 years to get the formula right. If you are looking for other side hustle ideas, I'll show you something a bit funny. This is a video on my YouTube channel, and it's when I first started YouTubing. And now you can see that I've got better sound. Well, you can't hear the sound here, but I've got a red face, and my camera quality is a lot better. And I'm looking at that. But in here, I talked about other side hustles I've done. I used to have a New Zealand Information Network, which was a portal, a travel portal, and people could advertise on it. I used to sell immigration packs, do-it-yourself immigration packs. I had a website selling adult products, and we used to drop ship those to people as well. And then one of the websites, one of the shops that I had that I learned a lot with was selling dietary supplements. And I used to literally bring in the dietary supplements from America. I used to buy them from a website called E-Vitamins, and then we used to stock them in the wardrobe, and then we used to sell the same products in New Zealand. And then we got rung up by, I think, MedSafe telling us that we had to get each product approved, and it would be a $10,000 cost for each product. And I remember going, oh, but we were selling $5,000 worth of products a month on that shop, selling dietary supplements. And we technically got smacked on the hand, told that we could get fined if our products didn't meet the standard. So I just deleted the site, put it down to learning. I used to sell power tools online. And they were tools that were able to be drop shipped, and I had a friend that let me have a wholesale account. However, I had to stick to my pricing. I weren't allowed to make up my pricing, so I couldn't undercut my competitors, which was Mitre 10, which is a big tradewear store here in New Zealand. But I did sell a few. I remember a guy rang me up once. He wanted a $4,000 lathing machine. And I went back to my supplier and I said, I've got a guy in Germany that wants to buy the product. And he said, no, we won't sell it to him because we can't honour the warranty. So I went back to the client and said, hey, look, I can sell it to you, but there will be no warranty unless you ship the product back to New Zealand if it needs fixing. He said, no problems. And I said, and the other thing is, we don't deliver. You will have to organise freight forwarding. He said, yep, no problems. I said, well, this is the address of the product. It was a $4,500 sale. I made $1,100 selling that product to him, and I didn't have to touch the product. After the person purchased the product, then he asked me if I could get it freight ready. And I said, no, I can't. You'll need to organise that. And he goes, oh, all right. So then he had to shop around and find and sell a courier because that was part of the conditions of the sale. But my point is, I sold a product I didn't have, made $1,100. So you've got to think outside the square. But the power tool store was pretty cool. And then obviously I got into, but if you want to watch that video, it's on my YouTube channel. You can search, because what I do, my day job, which may surprise you, is I'm actually a YouTuber. And I actually spend 70 to 80 hours a week doing YouTube videos. I go into Zoom meetings and I terrorize people who are scamming people. And I cause disruption. And that's actually what I do. So how I support myself is via my drop shipping websites. And I want to start taking my business to a new level where I teach you how to build up a drop shipping business. It's not something that you can just turn on and it goes. It's not something, people don't have the dedication, for the use of a better word. You need to spend time. You need to monitor, just like the 10 things I just mentioned. You need to monitor how it's going. You need, when you get your first sale, it's like, oh my goodness, I sold something. The whole process, I've got it so streamlined now, it's a breeze and it's just easy peasy. And I have a wee ding on my phone, and every time I get a sale, it goes ding, ding. And I'm going, how cool is that? I think I had a ding earlier on, actually. So, I mean, I don't know what, I'm going to bring up a sale and just see what it was. If it works, let's see, it might not be this shop. I need yes, it was the shop. So here's a product. Um, all right. So here is a product I just sold. I'm going to go back. Now this is my shop, right? So while I've been filming this video, I sold this. Now, what is this? I have no friggin' idea. Now, I would have never thought that I'd sell a circuit board. This is let's have a listen.
ESP32 development board Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth ultra low power consumption dual core.
Now, this product costs $14. It is a circuit board. Somebody technical will probably ring me up and ask me questions about this. Now, rather than pretending I'm a guru, I say I have no idea, mate. I just stock the product. I just put the product on my website. But anyway, somebody's bought it. So that's an ideal example. Was here is some other stuff. So I went to my supplier and I looked for all the electronic boards that sold more than 1,000 times. I know they are trending, and I added them into my website, and they sell. I don't need to make an informed decision about whether I list that product or not, as long as if it's in my lane, keep me on the rails. So as long as it's an electronic product, then that's all I need to worry about, and that's how it works. And this is how the dropshipping thing. So pick a genre of website. I've done outdoors. I've done quite a few of them. And the other thing, if you are interested in buying the outerwear store or potentially looking more into the nail store, remember you're not just buying a website. I sold one of these to somebody about 2 years ago, and they had the website for 12 months and lost interest in doing it. And he resold the website for more than he purchased it for. The people who purchased it hired me to teach their staff how to add and maintain the website. It was absolutely, a perfect scenario. But my point is, the person that purchased it off me didn't buy a website. He actually bought an asset. And you can have this website and build it up, add products, and maybe the money might come from when you resell the website. And that's how it works. So I'm not going to be held to the price I'm going to mention, but this website here is around about $3,000. It is what we call an entry-level website. And my goal is to create websites where people will get their return on their investment. I want to teach you how to use it. I want to teach you how to load products. And I want to say this is a bit of a long game, but not really. But you just want to keep adding products and forget about redesigning it or rebranding it. Just keep adding products. The formula has already been proven. The Lux Nail one, that is a $6,000 website. And that's because it's beautiful. It's got over 200 products in it. It's ready to rock and roll. We haven't done any marketing. We haven't released it to the search engines. It's ready for somebody to give a home. Will it work? Ooh, don't know. But if you look at the NZ Outdoors, $140,000 worth of sales. If you look at electronics, you can see over $300,000 worth of sales. The person that just bought that product paid I think it was $15, and they paid $8 shipping. So there's $23 worth of money. That circuit board will probably cost me $7 landed. And that's how you make the money. And profit and having the money right is perfect. The software that I use, when I click import, it imports the pricing. I don't have to work out the pricing and how much to sell it. If my supplier changes his pricing, it connects directly to the software and updates the prices in real time. If the supplier goes out of stock or runs a special, it follows through onto the website. It's absolutely amazing. When I started this game back in 1993, and I was using a 486 SS25 computer, I was struggling to find ways to make money online. This is a perfect side hustle opportunity. Get involved in drop shipping. Reach out to me. The last but not least is if you go to de Hek, not Dexter, dehek.com or danny.co.nz, you'll actually find my website, not that website, this website here. And if you want to get to know me and what I'm all about, you'll see that this comes up. Hopefully, there I am. And it says I am a scam fighter. But through here, you can read about me, build that relationship up with me, You can read my blogs, but in the middle of the page, there's a thing called passive income. And you click on passive income, you can watch other videos like the one I'm just doing tonight. And you can come here and read all about what we're actually offering to help people with. And you can also click on my Trade Me listings, and all the sites that I've mentioned at the moment that are selling are listed here. And, even though you might be watching this video in 12 months' time, just bear in mind we'll always have a shop sitting here. And interestingly enough, notice this. This is an advert that has followed me from, remember we looked at those at the start and we looked at the running pack. This advert, this is $5 worth of advertising a day, and this advert will now follow me around the internet. They call it remarketing, and that's why you'll pay that for that advertising. So there you go. So that's me. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you've got any questions, put them in the comment section of this video. And thank you very much for watching. And whatever you do, even if you don't use my services, that's fine, but give it a go. I do believe that you should start today, because tomorrow never comes. All right, I'm Danny de Hek. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.